Who are you?
Drake.
And Drake, who'd you have beside you?
My best friend and the guy that's responsible for me standing here, his name is 40.
Hello, 40.
Hello, Nardwuar.
Welcome back to Toronto,
Canada.
the 6.
The 6.
The 6. And right off the bat, Drake and 40, I have a gift for you. And it is in this towel right here.
Whoa, this is actually legendary. This can definitely go on our
shrine?
Yeah, our shrine.
What could you say about Biggie?
I'll let you speak on that first if you want.
Yeah, I mean, Big's an important part for me. What I would like to say about this guy is because he made music that had a sound of R&B to it, that was aggressive rap music, but he always played a role in the R&B space of music, which was like important for me. He was musical. He had a lot of melody in his stuff, you know? So as aggressive as some of his music was, a lot of it was extremely melody based. So I was always a big Biggie fan. I think he had like the nastiest and tightest cadence and flow ever in rap music.
I was gonna say Big has my favorite cadence, you know, the approach that he takes to every I gotta put the accessories on first. The approach that he puts to every the approach that he took to every joint that he got on was just like it was incredible. So I'm a huge Big fan, definitely.
And even the sunglasses.
Yeah,
these here, yeah, which is where yours is. But those are silver on the side. Yours, we
still love it.
Now, we shouldn't forget about 40, should we?
We never do.
We never forget about 40. And I have a gift for 40 right here, rated...
Wow. Triple X, Cool G Rap, and DJ Polo. Wow. I have this vinyl.
A sealed cassette.
It's that freak stuff right there. Cool G Rap is one of my favorite rappers of all time, so you know I appreciate this.
What can you say about Common and being called a bitch for having a Common CD?
Oh, as far as me making that comment? Because Common had like a soft little run there for a while, and I was like, I really like that one CD that he had with, I can't even remember which one it was called, but it was like, you know, I just remember my boys being like, oh, that's what you're on, and I was like,
It was like the chocolate starfish one?
No, it wasn't that one, man. Listen, I'm a diehard Common fan. Resurrection is like one of the reasons I got into making rap music, you know, like that's a song that I fell in love with that like brought me on this journey. And Can I Borrow $1? Like I have that on wax and CD, so it's like nobody needs to tell me about Common, and I love them, but yeah, like I was joking. Like when I was in grade 9, they were clowning me, my boys, you know, they were like, what, they're out there, they're listening to Nori or something, I don't know.
You had a Cool G Rap, 456.
Oh, 456, of course. Yeah, I love that stuff. That's my guy, because he brought something to rap. If you follow like the progression of rap music, he rapped a certain way before a lot of people rapped that way, and a lot of people came up off that style, you know, and developed it into what we know it as it to be today. So he's like a godfather of all this to me.
And you know that 40 is not a collector scum because he opened a sealed package.
Yeah. That's amazing. Did you just do it right now?
I was like, I'm just not. I just woke up.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, value went down, I'll tell you that much. So.
No, listen, it's still there. I'm sorry. I just woke up from like a
40 likes to like everything. He makes everything his own, you know. So now that's a 40 Cool G Rap collab right there, you know.
And we have another gift for you, Drake.
Timmy Thomas, Why Can't We Live Together?
Which forms he?
Well, this is what we sampled for Hotline Bling, yeah. And this was such a great record, and I actually discovered this sample, just to be completely honest, because I like to be completely honest. I discovered the sample after the fact, so I really actually fell in love with this song after I had heard the beat. And it was almost like a daunting task at that point to even you know think of sampling this, but incredible song and such a good gift, because this was actually in my like top 10 or 20 songs of all time. So that's a good gift. Well, if it wasn't, I'd tear it right off, just to make you feel.
Just check it.
Yeah.
And actually, we have right over here a message, if you want to crowd around his laptop, from Timmy Thomas
to me?
To Drake. So here we go, from Timmy Thomas to Drake. Right here. What would you, Timmy Thomas, like to say to Drake?
Okay. Well, the first thing I'd like to say is I appreciate the fact that you used my first original track. No cover. You never used any of that. And I also appreciate the fact that I heard some of the comments where you're saying, well, I think it was Productions 85, where they said we used Timmy Thomas's version of that first one, and everybody in the room said, man, that's it. That's the one. Then they listened to a lot of other beats. So that, number two, that made me feel good, to be able to talk to artists that were not even born that can relate to that type of feel from 1973. That's number two. Number three, I appreciate the fact that people love him so much. You have a whole country that in Canada that loves him. You know, I mean, he can't do any wrong. You know, and then you got all those people that are now listening again, which was number one in Canada with 73. Now it's number one in Canada with Hotline Bling, which is not the message but the music. So I just want to say to him from the bottom of my heart, thanks a million. Music Drake and you and the music crew.
Oh man, that's what's up, Timmy. Man, I love you, man. That's
You have a message for Timmy Thomas.
Yeah, I just want to thank him for making incredible music in the time that he was making music, and just for doing something that is timeless, because it's really difficult, not only for something to be good enough to still resonate with you years later, but to be good enough to actually take a piece of it and be able to make something else from it. That takes a really special creation. So Timmy, you're one of my favorite artists, man, after listening to this full thing, and I've heard the whole thing, and I love
One man band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love you, man. I appreciate that message. That means a lot. I'm gonna put this up here with the
And it was 1985. Was it 85? Because he mentions 85.
Oh, 85 is the producer of the song. Yeah. So, and he did a lot of stuff on Views with us. So
Now, Hotline Billing, and we have a little gift for 40 right here. It wasn't the first that we heard of it. In fact, we heard it on Sade's LP. Because if we turn it over, what do we see on the very back of Sade's multi-million selling LP?
why can't we live together? Wow. Wow. So that's what he means. He's happy that we used the original. Yeah, I feel him.
Here is another gift for you on the Timmy Thomas trip. Timmy Thomas's new CD.
Oh, wow. Turn back the hands of time with the Overtown Soul review. Oh, Timmy, this is next up, man. I'm going to listen to this. Hopefully we can find a new sample, man. Look at you, man. You look like a G, too, man. I like that, man. Timmy's on a Bodman ting in this, man. I like that. So shout out to Timmy, man. This is his new mixtape. Like, he's just on road just giving this out. That's how you got it?
That is Timmy Thomas, South by Southwest, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, Timmy's Turnt, man. We love it, man. We might have to change his name from Timmy Thomas to Timmy Turnt, man, because he's out here handing out the mixtapes in the paper sleeves. We absolutely, and the arms folded. Like, you got to really take this in. Like, I'm gonna put that with your one classic and a new classic right there. You know, so I like that.
Drake, free up world.
Boss, obviously, all day. Adi Medadi, free up world boss.
And I have a gift for you right here. What can you tell the people about Vybz Cartel?
Jeez. Vybz Cartel is one of my biggest inspirations, one of my favorite artists. You want to talk about a guy, you know, coming out of somewhere coming out of a place that has their own thing, their own culture, and absolutely just taking over, becoming like the one person to idolize. You know, I was there. I've been to Jamaica, you know, when the Gully Gaza thing was going on. I've been there before. I was there after, and no matter what, people are always holding up Vybz as an icon. So big up Vybz, man. He's definitely a big inspiration to myself and Party Next Door as well. I know me and Party have had a lot of Vybz conversations. So
And Popcan.
and Popcorn.
Who's on?
Who's on Views. Yeah, and Popcorn, obviously, you know, unfortunately, Vybz is incarcerated right now, and that's why we say free up world boss. But Popcorn basically, you know, was his young boy and came in and filled the shoes and gave Jamaica incredible songs and an incredible movement, you know, and that's something I'm a part of as well, you know. Unruly OVO, we're one family, so.
Did you almost get arrested with Mavadado?
I think his name is Movado. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I almost did get arrested because in Jamaica at a stage show, the way the police monitor the shows is they try not to incite the crowd, so they don't like you to swear. And obviously, you know, my first thing, I was just excited to be in Jamaica, so I started, you know, cussing up a storm, and yeah, they were about to arrest me, but luckily, like, I think Beanie Man was there and a bunch of people were there, and they just kind of tried to explain to the police that I didn't understand. But man, you know, big up all the guys that were there that night because they saved my life. And yeah, I think that night, funny enough, I went to that. It was just it was a wild night. You know, Movado came to pick me up in a caravan of cars, and I was with somebody. I won't say her name, but I was with somebody that night, and it was like our first time ever going out together. And needless to say, she did not stick around. She definitely left and never spoke to me again. So it was definitely an intense night. But, you know, big up Movado again, another legend from Jamaica. And this right here is probably the best thing I've received in a long time because Vibes is a legend, man. So
Voodoo Child,
sound.
you are a DJ.
I try.
And a DJ always needs something to play. This is another gift for you, some old dancehall, some King Tubby.
Tubby AG.
Are you into old dancehall?
Man, I'm into any dancehall, any reggae, conscious, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll listen to anything. I feel like the writing, the melodies, and just the layering of the music in this genre is incredible. So, King Tubby, this is classic.
For Voodoo Child
Sound.
And also, regarding 40, like, this is very, very interesting. What can you say about Justin Pierre, this 7-inch right here?
Okay, so this is Justin's?
This is...
Yeah. Oh, man.
Do you know much about 40's background?
I mean, I don't know.
This is about Justin
Pierre.
Trudeau and Pierre...
Yeah,
Pierre
Trudeau, Justin Pierre by...
Okay, but by Dinah Christie, who is like my sister's godmother.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
How do
Dinah
you-
Christie is my
Yeah.
sister's godmother. Wow, that's mind blowing. I mean, like, listen, I can't sit here and tell you I know everything about Dinah Christie, other than the fact that I love her with my heart, like family, because she is family. And from like the age of like 3 years old, she was in my house, and I knew her and loved her. But like the fact that she even made a record is like mind blowing to me, and I don't
Pierre
exactly
Trudeau's
understand what this is.
That is 40's godmother.
Yes. Well, all blessings to her.
What do you know about 40? Like, what do you know about 40?
I know a lot about 40. You just got to ask.
Actually, I was curious, and I have a gift for you. What can you say? This is a book by...
This is the Don right here. I call him the Don, but his name is Donald Shabib, and that's 40's dad. But he's the real Don.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
What can you say about the Don?
Me or 40?
Yeah, you, Drake.
I could say he's a very, very wise man. Somebody who's always there with gems for us, you know, along the way. He provides us with guidance. He's just an incredible guy, a genius, you know, great filmmaker.
And that is all about going down,
The road.
which has been pictured over there in the 40 studio.
Correct. There's a poster over there.
So there is a book all about the movie, a Canadian classic that 40's dad created. And 40 is helping to create another...
Canadian classic. Very well played.
Maybe there will be a book.
Maybe there will be.
But that is actually for Drake.
Oh, so that's amazing. Well, I'm gonna keep it.
Did you and 40 work with Dr. Dre before Wayne?
Yeah, we did. We have a long history with Dr. Dre. We were blessed enough to be part of the Record One troops, and we had our experience, you know, being part of that. So it was definitely it was nerve-wracking, and we were young, but we tried our best, and you know, and he gave us a shot. We did what we did, and
Did your tracks ever surface?
no, I don't know if anyone's tracks ever surfaced, but there was a lot of music back then, and I got to work with Snoop Dogg in that time. I got to work with a bunch of people, and it was a big honor, you know.
Speaking of the Dre,
Dre.
what can you say about this gentleman in this towel right here? Another Dre.
Dre. Oh, I think I already know which Dre this is. It's the Thiz. Oh man. Oh, that is crazy. Oh man. Well, this is Mac Dre right here, and shout out to Wanda. You know, man, this is a guy who, again, I idolize because he's from a place, and that place that he's from, which is the Bay Area, hold him to legendary status. And I respect if you're a legend where you're actually from, you know. I mean, it's cool to be popular in the world, but if you're a legend where you're actually from and they actually love you where you're from and they don't say that anybody else is better than you, then I respect you. And that's why I respect this guy right here. So, man, shout out to the Thiz, man, for real. This is very epic. This is very epic, right? This is my second Mac Dre bobblehead, actually. I have the one of him playing tennis, too. So this is my second one, but I've never seen this one.
I was curious. 27 hours to
I don't know.
Memphis.
Oh, Memphis. Oh man, yeah. Classic.
Shelby Drive.
Shelby Drive, baby.
Whitehaven.
Whitehaven. Oh man, yeah. Southland Mall. You know, I used to eat at the Piccadilly Circus with my family, but Shelby Drive is a street that, you know, I probably spent a lot of time on, man. A lot of summers, you know, when my mom would let me go out there. And Memphis has a really dear place in my heart, especially with the music that I make. So.
I was curious about this particular photo, Memphis Moment.
Oh.
What is going on there?
Man, well, this is my cousin TJ.
Royalty?
No, that's not royalty, actually. Royalty is not in this picture, which is crazy. But this is my cousin TJ, who actually, he has a Cash Money Millionaires bandana on, which is kind of pretty crazy foreshadowing. But and then that's me. That's me with braces and a do-rag and glasses, wearing a Tennessee Volunteers jersey. That's my Uncle Chris, who literally, that is his permanent face, and he's always that cool. And then that's my Uncle Bert, who's just, you know, one of my favorite rappers, and just the ultimate Memphis thug, amazing, incredible uncle you could ever have. So this is just a portion of my family, but
that is amazing. Memphis Moment.
Memphis Moments, man. My mom actually made me a scrapbook, and in it was a page in the scrapbook, Memphis Moments, and above you can see there's other pictures all around. But yeah, this is a crucial picture from a trip that I took with my dad to Tennessee.
I was curious about Memphis, Tennessee. Did you run into the 3-6 at all back then?
Of course, I was a huge 3-6 fan, and you know, I mean, again, a group of guys that were from somewhere that didn't have a sound, and they created a sound. I'm a huge Juicy fan, huge Paul fan, and yeah, man, you know, I really got to meet the guys, I think, later on in life, but I'm a big 3-6 fan. And 3-6 just had a whole movement. I mean, they had a bunch of artists popping up, and they were just doing something that had never been seen in Memphis, you know, making money that had never been seen off rap in Memphis. So them, and man, like, a bunch of other guys were.
Let's chat, and I have a gift for you, actually, because you sampled Le Chat, right?
Oh, yes, I did. Wow, you ain't mad, is you? This is crazy. This is another classic. I was just about to say Le Chat.
Gangsta Boo, too.
Gangsta Boo, who I love.
And as well, I was curious, 8 Ball.
8 Ball, oh, of course.
Another sealed.
Another sealed. I want, yeah, yeah. 8 Ball and MJG. Another incredible group. I mean, one of my favorite songs was when they actually linked up with 3-6. Like the album with You Don't Want Drama, and all the stuff that they were doing with Puff at the time. That was probably one of the biggest, most influential rap albums of my life, because I had just never seen a collection of music that hit that hard at that time. They had real like smashes coming out of a place that usually, I mean, the sound was so dark. So it was, man, Ball and G, man, classic. Man.
How young were you meeting Yo Gotti?
Wow. Well, my cousin's boyfriend at the time was managing Yo Gotti, and so I was probably about 15, and I got to go to the house where they recorded at, and they took me to the club, and that was probably the most I'd ever seen with my two eyes of like, oh, this rap stuff really works. I mean, I had never, they looked like the richest guys in the world to me. I had never seen so many cars, so much jewelry, so much everything. They had the city just locked down, you know, and that was actually, I think, at the time where they were butting heads with 3-6, but it was just an amazing time to be there. I got to witness all of it. And shout out to EMAC, who went to jail for a bit, just came home. So shout out to EMAC. And yeah, man, I mean, Yo Gotti showed me a lot about what's possible in your own city, you know?
Knock, knock, twist my hair. And and this is
the lyrics to Twist My Hair.
And this is
Getting out.
Song I ever produced, for real, for a major label.
And not only that, but if we look closely, what do we see?
It's the remix.
It's the remix, 40 Days and
Vocals.
40 Nights. Vocals by Drake.
You're on this
I'm
remix.
on this remix. Wow. I wouldn't remember that verse if you
That's crazy.
paid me to recite
I
it.
can't believe you found that.
And it's the vinyl too. It's like-
Yeah, this is probably the only place.
Divine Brown, though. Divine Brown.
Yes, Divine Brown. Yes,
Your first writing credit?
my first writing credit on a real first song I produced on a real album. I was her engineer, so I was engineering her album, and she believed in me enough to give me a chance to produce a record, and she used one of my records, and this was it.
And you brought in your good buddy?
Okay, no, that's the first day I met Drake.
Wow.
Socrates brought him because Socrates was producing all of the records on this album, and I produced this one. And so he got Drake to come in and do a remix, and Drake and Boy Wonder came to the studio, and that's the first day I met Drake.
Wow.
And then Gadget yelled at me. Gadget yelled at me because I left his hard drives in the room, and Drake was like, "Why'd you let them in there with all my drives everywhere? Are you crazy? I don't know those guys." And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know who they were. I was just an engineer. I was an intern, you know. But I was lucky enough to like produce a record I was an intern. I wasn't working.
And Drake remembers nothing of that day.
Nothing. It's a complete blur.
Yeah, that is the first day that we actually met, and then we didn't really even like speak or meet or actually connect until I guess like a year or two later.
And there you are together on Divine Brown, together, like with views.
That's trippy. That's a trip.
Crazy.
That was a gift, man. They were gifting me a remix. I didn't even deserve it at the time.
What do you think about the Canadian crab bucket chaos mentality for rap?
I mean, I don't know if it exists anymore. I think everybody's doing their thing. I think there's a platform for people from where we're from to just make great music. That's the key. I always say for anybody that wants to do anything, really from anywhere, just make a great project and you'll gain people's attention. But I think at the time, Chaos was probably speaking on a little. The city was just different, you know, and what a legend, man! What incredible music that he made for us to also take in and listen to. But the city was different at that time, you know, and I think now we've just opened it up a bit. Everyone's proud to be from here. There's a lot less like eyeballing and hating, and it's more just like, you know, when you hear that someone else is doing something from Toronto, you get more excited than be like, oh, that should be me, you know.
What can you say about this particular gentleman from Toronto, Cartel official, Yorkdale Mall?
Oh man, well, I mean, one of my fondest memories is walking through Yorkdale Mall right by the bay and the old Harry Rosen. You got to know the old Harry Rosen to know about that. But turning the corner and seeing this guy standing like what looked like at the time like 7'5", wearing like a fur Kangol and like a Adidas tracksuit, and I remember he was the biggest rapper in the city, and I remember I was walking in the mall. I don't remember exactly who I was with, but I turned to the person I was with and I said, I'm gonna be bigger than that guy one day. And that was my memory of
Be
Cartel.
careful what you wish for.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a moment, but at the same time, you know, he was to me larger than life in that mall, you know. So it wasn't like an offensive thing. It was something to strive for. You know, I wanted to be bigger than that because, you know, prior to that, we had seen him come out at like Rock the Caravan with Jay-Z, and he had songs ringing off across the world. So he was our guy. You know, he was the first one to really be like a star boy from out here. So.
I was curious, Drake, what can you say about this particular gentleman right here, the Maestro? Did you share a dressing room with him? He says for instant star.
Oh man, yeah. Well, actually, we were on two different shows. So I was on Degrassi, he was on Instant Star, and so when they would be filming Instant Star on his weeks, they would swap my name off the door and put up Maestro Fresh West. So we did share a dressing room, yeah. So I always had to make sure I took my stuff out of there, especially if I had any raps written down on paper, because I didn't want my. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, Maestro again, another legend, man, another guy from our city that broke down a wall and had a song that just went farther than anybody at the time. And then not only that, but I mean, a lot of people might like not see this as one of maybe his like top 5 moments, but for me, 416 to the 905 was like, it just was like the first time anyone bigged up like where we were actually from, you know. And it's so funny to see people across the world talking about the 6 and talking about Toronto like it's a destination, because at that time, for making a song called 416 to 905 was like insane, you know, like no one's even gonna know what you're talking about. And so I mean, I rate this guy for that, because he wasn't scared to claim where we were from.
What's interesting about Maestro is right here, another Maestro cassette. We turn it over and we have the song VIPs Only featuring K-Force, who coined the term T-Dot.
T-Dot, oh wow, K-Force, man.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Crazy.
Well, K-Force, you had a long run, man, before we showed up, man. So shout out to K-Force, because T-Dot was T-Dot still and always will be, you know, a term that people use to refer to Toronto, but I think 6 might have taken over the force.
Well, Jimmy Prime, what was his role? Jimmy Prime, because is he the first guy that came up with the 6? Like, who is credited with the 6?
I think the 6, you know, Jimmy definitely was out there doing his thing. At the time, you know, Oliver and Jimmy were brainstorming about something, and they had come up with the title together, Views from the 6. And I had asked Oliver if I could use the title because I really liked the title. Oliver had come up with it. And yeah, so I give all credit to Jimmy, man, because he was definitely part of that process, you know, finding the right title for the album. And obviously, you know, that title birthed the whole movement for the city. And yeah, Jimmy Prime, man, shout out to Jimmy. I've always given him that credit of being part of this whole thing, you know, and definitely changing the history of the city. So
40, the rhyme animal.
Wow. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Trey.
What can you say about the rhyme animal, Drake?
Me? I'll let 40 talk.
That's my brother right there, you know, for a long time.
The Empire.
The Empire. You better believe it. That's my family, you know.
And now I know that this is post meeting Divine Brown. What exactly is going on in this photo?
That's post Divine Brown. Where are we?
You are wearing ransom.
Oh, we're wearing
Ransom 15.
I'm wearing ransom tee too.
Yeah, 15 Fort York, maybe? No way.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Where that is.
What year is that and what is going on?
Well, obviously, jeans are fitting very different back then.
We're
Clothes.
just in the studio
Yeah,
working. What do you
honestly.
mean?
You are Drake, the 6
God.
The 6 God. Do you know much about the Jays?
The Blue Jays?
Yeah, the Jays.
Of course.
Have you ever seen this record right here from 1984, Shaker's Rap by Lloyd Mosby?
Oh, no, I haven't.
crazy.
I haven't, but Lloyd was turnt, though, man. Look at
my
Lloyd
God.
with the very deep V-neck, chest hair, gold chain. He looks like he played for like the Oakland A's or something. He looks like Ricky Henderson almost. But
Shaker's Rap from 84.
wow.
The Jays.
Wow.
That's
I
epic.
can't believe they allowed him to do it. That's what's crazy, but that's epic.
Yo, you got the Blue Jays logo on there too?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
They
this
sold these?
I guess so. I got one.
What is this?
Vine Street Records.
This is crazy.
I was curious about the roots of Drake. Summer 16, the Winans.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, the Winans definitely.
The Winans. Thank you for helping with my pronunciation.
No problem. I'll always save you. Yeah, Winans really. I put it at the end of Summer 16 for that particular release, but it actually is part of another song on the album, and that sample that I did use has just been something that I've just used emotionally. I would listen to that sample on loop, and me and 40 have had that sample for a long time, just trying to figure out exactly where to place it, because the music that these guys make and that particular sample mean a lot to me. So again, shout out to the Winans, man, because you guys aren't as turnt as Lloyd Mosley, but you're pretty close. So I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I appreciate the Winans a lot.
Shout out to your family as well, because I must say, like, what can you say? I know we have asked about him before, but these particular gentlemen and these particular records right here, what can you say about Larry Graham and Slap Bass and Kanye?
Well, the last time I saw this record was in Kanye's studio. Obviously, I think I posted a picture of it. I have this chain.
Amazing. Like, he gave it to you?
No, I just got it remade. But yeah, Larry Graham is
Like, he looks good.
so why? But yeah, he's a smooth cat. You know, you can see again, he's just part of that era where you just had to do your thing, and he's always repping that chain, which obviously is our last name, Graham. So he's part of my family. Kanye sampled him for No More Parties in L.A.
Did you know that until you got to the studio, or what?
Nah, he told me about it. Me and Kanye live up the street, so he shared that information with me, and it kind of was cool. It was kind of like something we were able to bond over, because he felt like he could. It was my family, and he shared that experience with me. So yeah, man, shout out to Larry, and of course, shout out to Ye for always finding a way to bring back classics, man, because that guy's ear is insane. And this should have been the cover for Views, but I just didn't think of this color scheme. So
now, I would like to ask you about this particular sample, 40.
Actually, sorry, just so that you know, this is a fun fact. I actually got the title from that song. I got the title from the original song. Sooner Than Later. I actually, first time I ever saw these words together was on when my dad gave me this album. So I just really liked the way it looked, and I kind of wrote my own version of. Mine was Sooner Than Later, but
And made the chain.
yeah, and made the chain. Yeah, I'm paying a lot of respects, man. Shout out to Larry, man. He's great.
Back to back. What did you think about people's reaction to it? Like Mos Def doing stand-up comedy about back to back.
Oh, I never saw that, but that's amazing. Mos Def was actually one of my first shows that I ever opened for. But yeah, I mean, back to back was what it was. It was a reaction to somebody trying to challenge my integrity. And that's pretty much what's going to happen anytime that happens. So, it is what it is. I had to do what I had to do.
Now, speaking of wins and losses, I have another gift for you: a Big L LP.
Oh, man.
Played, sir. Well played.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, Big L. I mean, 40 is like probably can
I love Big L.
drop gems on Big L right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm a DITC guy, so Big L was an important one to me,
He had a battle with Jay-Z.
Yeah, he did.
It was a tie.
It was a tie.
Does everybody say it was a tie?
It's the general consensus.
Is that the general consensus
Yeah,
on that?
it is. It is. I mean, you can pick a side. I was a Big L guy, but we can just say it as a tie.
Two great MCs. So.
Of course, come on.
Yeah.
Jay has his W. He's good.
He's got a few W's. Yeah.
We have a quote for you, Drake. A homie is a player, that is all. So why you have to go and kick his...
It's just Degrassi. This is Degrassi. I think this is Spinner, right?
Spinner's rap.
He's Spinner's rap.
Balls.
Balls. Yeah, it was the operative.
What do you remember about Spinner's rap?
It was the first time I ever really got to showcase rap on television. But I think they gave me an opportunity after that to write a real song myself. I don't think I wrote those bars, believe it or not. But yeah, that was the first time rap I think really showed its face on Degrassi. So big moment there.
A page from Degrassi says you are 11 out of 10 for kissing.
Paige from Degrassi says that?
Yeah. You are 11 out of 10.
Yeah? She's a sweetheart. Always has been. That's what, did she say that like in an interview or something? Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, well, her name's Lauren Collins, and I always loved her when I was growing up very much. I still do. And I'd make out with her any day. So I'm down.
Quote, I'm usually involved in the jock love triangle. Drake.
I said that?
Yeah, on Degrassi.
Oh.
I don't know if that's exactly a quote, man, technically.
That's bad wording. I think that's the context from before. It's out of context is the point. But yeah, I think I was always sort of in a storyline. This is before I was in a wheelchair on the show, but I think I was always in a storyline where I was part of some fighting with some other guy for some girl,
Do you still kiss your fans?
No, I stopped that. I think
there's a Button video circulating about. Yeah, I think 2009 you were kissing your fans.
The glory days, man. I miss it a lot. That was when I had this guy on the road with me.
Yep.
Downstairs at the DoubleTree Hotel, 9 a.m, bags packed.
I think those days are past, maybe now.
But yeah, I don't know if I you know, you never know how old fans are and what they've been up to prior to the show. So I don't know if I don't kiss fans anymore, but it's still love.
The last interview that we did, quote, I keep their bras in a trunk, in a black trunk.
I did when my tour manager was a wonderful lady named Tina. She would keep a collection of bras for me in a trunk, and it became a thing to throw bras on stage. And then I think it became a thing for a lot of artists. So I let it go. I let it go.
And you used to Pam Grier?
Oh yeah, well that was I revisited that today. You know, I'll tell you about our last interview. I mean, that was honestly, I was really high that day, man. And I was tripped out because you're really good at your job. And yeah, I did divulge that piece of information to you. So Pam Grier, I love Pam Grier. I still lust after Pam Grier to this day. I try to find her. I tried following her on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't think it's the real her. But yes, she was one of my first muses. I can put now at 29. I can put it a little better for you. So
well, I have a gift for you to continue on with your muse. 2 Pam Grier sealed DVDs.
Wow. Well, I will be watching these tonight, and you can imagine how that's gonna go. You know, if you want.
Ba-boom.
Amazing. Yeah, very, very, very. Pretty much Pam Grier shaped like what my idea of a woman was, as far as just like shape and curves and body. And Pam Grier is like what I fell in love with as a young guy.
And we have another gift for a 40 right here. Some Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
The brand new reissue of the 1999 release.
I was gonna say that they look like they did when I saw them the other day. That
Oh my God, that's brand new. Oh, it's crazy.
Brand new reissue of
reissue, yeah. But they just put a new pic on the cover, which is obviously the most legendary thing ever.
Like, you've met them, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, we were supposed to have a show in Cleveland, Ohio, I believe, and it got canceled because of something. But we spent like 40 minutes downstairs at the hotel when all the fans like swarmed the hotel because we weren't doing the show. So we were kind of stuck in this like melee trying to get out of it together. But I think we were in Cleveland, Ohio, and people were, I think, a lot more excited about Bone Thugs and Harmony at that moment. So.
What do I do with Bone Thugs and Harmony, though? You got to tell me.
That is a gift for you.
Amazing. I love them.
We have some Cameron.
Wow.
Looking very
dapper.
Civilized. Yeah, he's looking very civilized. Featuring your boy Mace right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, that two guys that I definitely wanted to be growing up, you know? And especially at this time. I mean, it was just... They had their city away at like, it's just that same thing I've been talking about, you know, just guys that pretty much brought new energy to the city. And man, it was just like how much, it's just surreal to watch those guys. How much money can one guy have? How fly can they be? Like, it was just Cam and Mace were epic, you know? And Loon, don't forget about Loon. Everyone always wants to forget about Loon, but Loon was a part of that, man. Yo, shout out to Loon, man. Loon, I see you.
I was curious, Drake, who do you sit beside during Raptors games?
I sit beside whoever has the time to come to the game. Sometimes I sit with this guy. Sometimes I sit with Chubbs most of the time. But
they get involved too.
Whoever I'm sitting with?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me and Chubbs pushes me to go further than usually I probably should. Like the other night, for example. But yeah, you know, I sit with but it has to be someone with a good energy. You know, you can't be like, you know, on your phone not paying attention. So everyone I sit with is passionate about the game. You know.
What do you think about Drake and basketball records like Mike?
Wow, man, this movie and this time in my life was also crazy because, you know, I mean, Bow Wow was, when you were younger, I mean, you you wanted to be as big as Bow Wow was. Bow Wow was just all the girls wanted Bow Wow. Bow Wow had 106 in Park. It was like Justin Bieber, Fanatic, you know. Yeah, man, Bow Wow. And this movie was just legendary. He got to be with every ball player that you ever wanted to hang out
Have you met all these guys like Dirk and Nash?
Oh, of course I know Nash. I mean, Nash is probably I'm probably closest with AI and Nash out of this whole picture. C Webb is a great guy. Dirk, obviously an incredible guy, and Jason Kidd I don't really know that well, but Nash is a character, man. That guy for sure, and obviously fellow Canadian, so it's all love. And AI is just somebody that to even spend time around him is just it's epic because he's Allen Iverson. So
You shouted out Kobe on Insta.
I did. Yeah. Sad to watch him go. I've had a lot of Kobe memories. I even mentioned him on the album. And yeah, man, just a guy that definitely I have a lot of respect for, and I've witnessed a lot of greatness because of him. So
I was curious, what do you think of, and I have another gift for you, what do you think of right here, Kobe Bryant's basketball rapping career? Which Snoop calls bullshit at its finest.
who said that?
Snoop.
Well, in Toronto we call this. Just look at the feature though. It's featuring who?
Oh my God, Tyra Banks. Is she singing?
Tyra Banks.
I mean, well, Tyra Banks has always been, my wife. Like that's like my woman crush every day type vibe. So, but this is in Toronto we call this China ting. So this is when you. This is when you're just trying to ting. You don't know if it's gonna work, but you're trying to ting. And this is Kobe just.
And this is Kobe with Destiny's Child.
They let this happen? No, really?
Yes. Kobe and Destiny's.
What do you mean?
Wow. I mean,
And that is a gift for you.
yeah, no, and I appreciate
And
that.
Beyonce is on Views.
Well, we did a song. It didn't make the album, but because
I've done a song.
yes, we've done a couple songs, yeah. And she just dropped her thing the other day, but yeah, man, Kobe Bryant rapping with Destiny's Child. That's how you know that you're playing your sport well if they'll let you on a record, because I don't know if we're letting Kobe on Views as much as we love him.
Now, he wasn't the only guy. Believe it or not, this gentleman right here, Shaq, also did.
Man,
The rapping.
one of my favorite people in the world. I'm gonna be real, man. Me and Shaq.
He beatboxed for you.
Yeah, I mean,
You did back-to-back live on TV.
Yes, with Shaq beatboxing. I can't hate on Shaq rapping because Shaq's just the man, and like he says, I know I got skills. I mean, that's
Yo, but Shaq was big. I know Kobe rapped, but Shaq was doing it for a minute.
all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He was like
He went platinum.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Shaq was actually rapping, and I have to admit that I think at one point in my life I was probably actually into maybe one or two Shaq songs. So
Did Steph Curry play at your house?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he played one-on-one with his brother-in-law.
And with Kevin Love's cousin. Kevin Love's cousin. That is a little Nard joke.
Oh, okay.
You said that one time. Kevin Love. Oh, look, that's Kevin Love's.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
That didn't work.
It's all right. You have a better memory than me. That's why.
Okay.
Your jokes just go. They go over people's heads sometimes. But yeah, they played at my house. I played Steph in ping pong that night too. I won't discuss the result, but yeah, Steph is like family to me. One of my best friends that works for me is Aisha's cousin, and Steph is married to Aisha, so we're all like family. And Steph, yeah, man, to watch that guy play, I think he was playing in Prada dress shoes that night, if I'm not mistaken. And needless to say, I don't think his brother-in-law scored at all.
But still, to have Steph at your house, that is incredible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and Steph's one of those guys. It's like if there's a basketball court outside, he's probably gonna go and put up some shots because that's his life. So I'm wishing him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can do what he does this year and repeat.
Drake, you like big butts, right?
And I cannot lie,
And you have a book on big butts.
I do.
I was curious. I have a gift for you. A book on big Houston rap.
Wow.
And this is all about Houston rap. And if you could open up to the pages and tell us about these people. ESG.
Man, legendary. This is Houston culture at its finest right there, you know. When you see any Sprite that color, that's definitely.
You sampled him and DJ Screw.
Of course, yeah. Legendary, man. Just this whole style, this whole crew, you know. Yeah, ESG, man. Legendary. Let me see who's next.
And up next is another guy.
Man, like father figure to me, you know. Bun B, I just talked to him the other day. He was wishing me the best of luck with the album and heading out on Gumball, which he always goes on the drive. But yeah, Bun was one of the first people to really give me that, you know, that acceptance from Houston. When I did records like November 18th and Uptown, Bun was the one to stamp it. And Bun's a guy that any new talent, he's always there to lend his advice, always there to give a feature if he like enjoys the music and supports it. He'll come out to your show. Bun will pretty much do, you know, whatever he can to keep the culture going. And I honored Bun B at HAW last year, and if I could honor him every year, I would, because he's just that guy. Did I miss somebody?
You did. Screwed up. DJ Screw.
So this is a crazy story. This actually, I rebuilt this store, and I actually have it in a locker. I used it as my stage one time when I performed at HAW. I rebuilt everything from the security cameras to and I have it stored. So when I build my house, I want this somewhere in my house. But this is Screwed Up Records and Tapes. And this is just something that doesn't exist anymore, man. I used to go here, get all the new sounds from that squad. You know, you could buy anything, but I mean, you go to get your Screwed Up. You know, shout out to OG Ron C, keeping Screw alive, Chopped and Screwed. But yeah, you know, this was just something that I wish I got to go. I wish I got to be a part of it, you know, because DJ Screw is a big influence to me for sure.
And then you turn to another guy that you sampled for, Big Mo.
Big Mo.
For November 18th.
Of course, yeah, Big Mo, man. Rest in peace. Yeah, you know, an unfortunate story. Like I said, you know, the Houston culture, sometimes it claims some of the great ones, man. So rest in peace to Mo. And actually, one of my favorite songs is when Wayne sampled Mo on Me and My Drink, which is a legendary Houston song. And Mo is one of those guys that if you're at a show in Houston, you could throw on some Mo. And if you're ever having a bad set in Houston, that's my advice to you. Throw on some Mo and they'll sing it word for word. But yeah, you know, Big Mo. This is a crazy book, man.
Houston rap. This actually is Lil Wayne's birthday party in 2007. What was it like at a Lil Wayne birthday party?
I mean, I would say Lil Wayne's birthday party is probably going to be a lot of women, a lot of rap music, a lot of weed smoke. It's going to be an extravaganza, you know. Of course.
Did people think that you were Lil Wayne's assistant? You were so quiet in the early days.
That's just my character. I keep to myself. I try and stay out of the way, you know, because that's how I gain my respect from guys like that, especially, you know.
But you wore headphones getting on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to earn his respect by doing hard work, as opposed to being, you know, right there trying to be the loudest one or be, you know, I just tried to keep to myself and prove myself through the songs that we made. And I get a lot of that from this guy too, you know, just being humble and, you know, trying to let our work speak for ourselves. And wow, and this is pretty much my life story.
What is the most that you've thrown at a strip club?
Well,
and Houston does have the best
strip clubs. Shout out to DJ Eric.
And your first sellout?
Yeah, this is my first sold out event at Warehouse Live. And shout out to V Live, and shout out to Dreams, because I used to go to Dreams, and shout out to High Rollers, because I used to go to High Rollers. The most money I've ever thrown in a strip club, I don't know, man. I mean, I think one weekend I think they gave me money, but the thing was, it was money to throw. So I think I was like 50 something thousand or something like that. But
and I have some gifts for you that goes with that book right there. A little 7-inch by Fat Pat and DJ Screw.
Wow, man. Tops drop, man. This is classic. Very class. Oh, and this has UGK on the other side too. This is crazy, man.
You sampled Fat Pat for Connect.
Yes, I did. Swanging. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, just off this discussion, you could tell how much Houston rap means to me. I have, you know, the Houston H tattooed on my shoulder. I'm very grateful for Houston. It's one of those places that I feel like I'm probably gonna own a house there one day, and just to be there for a bit out of the year every year makes me a better rapper. You know, Houston is a place that they believe in their own style of music, and it gave me a lot of confidence to come back to Toronto and believe in what we had as well, because I realized that, you know, you can go to Houston and play whatever you want. It didn't matter who had a song out. It could be Lil Wayne, it could be Jay-Z, it could be Kanye. It didn't matter. If you play this, you're gonna win. So they really support their own, and I respect that.
And you went to a Rap-A-Lot party on a roof.
Whew, I've been to a lot of Rap-A-Lot parties, my man, you know.
Roof parties are kind of dangerous, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, I guess if you have a little too much, you know, and start stumbling. But anything Rap-A-Lot is definitely, that's family, you know. Jay Prince, obviously another father figure in my life, you know, a great guy. And you want to talk about legacy, that's legacy in Houston, Rap-A-Lot Records.
You wanted to bring a bit of Marvin's Room to here, the 40s studio.
Yeah, it's 40s room.
What do you think about 40s Room? What do you think about?
I think, I mean, well, we're standing in state of the art studios, and I think it lives up to its name. It's one of the most incredible, visually one of the most incredible places you could be making an album. It puts you right in the right mindset, and sonically, I don't think there's anyone better at what they do than this man. So you can only imagine if he built this from the ground up, how it sounds. And I encourage you to go listen to our album, and you'll see why it sounds better than everything else, because 40's a genius.
I have right here a gift for you. Speaking of Marvin, an original Trouble Man gatefold record LP.
Man,
Marvin's Room.
Marvin's Room, and Marvin is a guy that I try and be more and more like. You know, I definitely I respect his vision always, even just in the imagery, creatively and musically. And shout out to everybody at Marvin's Room, like Nettlesby and all our guys over there.
Drake, the press is evil?
Everybody but you. Yeah, no, I just again, you know, another thing that that goes back to what I was saying before. I just like to let my work speak for me. You know, I feel like, you know, anyone that shows up here to do an interview other than you come bearing gifts and trying to shed light and knowledge and history. A lot of people just have to do their job, and their job is to get, you know, a headline and try and get me to slip up or like divulge something or say the wrong thing when I don't really mean to. And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
You do like this gentleman right here on the cover of your favorite, and this is another gift for you.
Wow.
Some Michael Jackson
Some Michael Jackson
on the cover of
Rolling Stone. What issue is this?
from 19
This is number 81.
from 71.
From 71. I mean, I just finished watching the Off the Wall documentary, and if you ever think you're doing well in your career, you should definitely go watch that, because you're absolutely nowhere near what this guy was doing. Why does this 11-year-old stay up past his bedtime? Because he is the greatest entertainer of all time, and that's what you have to do. You know, you have to push yourself, and he pushed himself further and further. Did things that I can't even comprehend, like choreographed dancing, and, you know, all instrument, like playing instruments, everything. I mean, he was just he was the greatest.
Quote Drake, I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay-Z.
Yeah. Well,
and I have a gift for you right here, the Hawaiian Sophie right there. Because if we turn over, there is Jay-Z on the back.
There he is, man.
Now, what can you say about Jay-Z? Especially, I guess he kind of put in a shortish verse.
You talking about on Pop Style?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. It was just that, you know, I had asked Kanye to do a verse for me, and Kanye just sent it with a Jay-Z intro on it. You know, there was never any like intention of that, trying to like dress it up as a Jay-Z verse. It was just Kanye thought it would be like, you know, a great idea to have Jay do the first two lines, and so did I. And you know, that was just kind of how we framed the verse. And I think people obviously want to hear Jay-Z rap, so they wanted to hear more. But you know, I mean, he was there for the intro, you know, and that should be enough. People should be grateful.
Got so many chains, they call me.
Chaining Tatum.
Where did that come from? And does Norm have a Drake chain?
Does Norm? I think so. I think he has one with my face on it. But yeah, this is why they call me Chaining Tatum. Hold on, I'm gonna put. You have to do the rest of the thing with this on. All right. We'll just turn it around like that. There you go. What can I say about being Chaining Tatum?
First, what can you say about this particular chain, and what can you say about Chainum Tatum?
Well, that's the thinking chain. You know, that chain is basically what I put on while I was making views to kind of make, you know, the right decisions. And when I needed mental clarity, I just put that on, and it's so heavy that you really want to make a decision really fast so you can take it off. And then with that being said, yeah, Channing Tatum was just, I'm a Channing Tatum fan, and I just wanted to find a way to use his name, and I thought the line was amazing, and it's one of my favorite bars, so yeah, that's it.
And we have another gift for you right here. It is Original Flavor from 1993 featuring Jay-Z.
Wow.
Without Jay being mentioned.
Wow. Well, that happens sometimes, you know, when you're just trying to get...
But they mentioned you on the Divine Brown.
Well, they did, yeah. But, you know, this is like...
But they didn't mention me on Chaos B-Boy Stance. Shout out to Kevin. Hey, there's lots of times people don't get mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, mixed by Clark Kent, which is epic.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but and produced by Ski. But, yeah, I mean, this is just how it works sometimes when you're grinding, you know? So shout out to Jay for doing the work and not getting mentioned, because it happens to the best of us, and this is a perfect example.
Yes. This is very heavy, but
you... Off you want, because it's just meant for thinking.
Yeah.
No, it's not
I really appreciate that. Who made this, by the way?
A guy named Kalani. He's a jeweler from Toronto. You got to turn around and get the shiny part, though, you know? But yeah. Yeah, he made it for me, and it came through in the last minute. Helped us finish the album, and now you're wearing it, so
that is amazing. Like, to think also, like, the responsibility that being Drake holds. Like, for instance, you missed the Grammys for King of the Dot. That is incredible.
Well, I'm a King of the Dot fan, so I mean, yeah, I did. I missed the Grammys for King of the Dot because there were important battles going on that day, and OVO was sponsoring the event. And shout out to Gannick and Gully. It was better than the Grammys, to be honest, that night, so I was happy about it.
The cover of Views is you and the CN Tower.
Yes, sir.
That is amazing.
I'm glad you like it.
And I have a gift here for you, winding up with Drake and 40, the CN Tower, wow. Canadian Records.
So I wasn't the first one to... These guys had a UFO on the CN Tower.
The homegrown Q107 LP.
Wow.
Did you see any UFOs? What was it like shooting the cover shot for Views?
It was amazing. Shout out to Caitlin Cronenberg. She shot the whole album packaging. And when we were shooting that photo, I knew that we had something extremely special on our hands, just because I get to immortalize the city on a project that I feel I wrote about the city, that we did in a studio that 40 built in our city, and it just felt like everything was coming full circle, and I was sitting on the biggest circle that we have.
The CN Tower, but believe it or not, I would say probably about the second punk single to ever come out of Toronto was by The Pulse and their song
CN Tower.
CN Tower.
Wow.
So I think it's great with Views. You've taken it to the CN Tower, which has been album-fied before. Like, that's incredible.
I know. I mean, this is crazy. The history of CN Tower usage here is the lineage of CN Tower usage is amazing.
Did you ever think that you would get like CN Tower aficionados, geeks, like geeking over the fact that you went to the CN Tower?
Well, I think it's more of a pride thing in the city, just to see a building that everybody knows is Toronto. And, you know, the cover could have been anything. It could have been some glamour shot of me, or, you know, something that was more obscure, but I wanted to make it very memorable for anyone that was a part of this rollout and a part of the city to remember. I remember when he put the most important landmark in our city on his album cover, just basically immortalize where we're from.
the Poles and Q107 and Drake CN Tower.
Yes, we're part of a trio and we're proud of it.
Is there a lint roller?
There was for one of the Raptors games because I was caught lint rolling my pants. But sometimes you just get linty, man, and you gotta, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit around all fuzzy? It's like I just did what any unlinty man would do and unlinted my pants. I don't know.
And I think winding up here, lastly, we should reward 40 with a few more gifts here. Right here, we have Shades of Brooklyn and AZ as well.
Wow.
What can you say about the Shades of Brooklyn and AZ?
Shades of Brooklyn were on back to DJ Premier, who produced this record. No, the Beatminers produced this. No, it was D&D Studios. It was all Primo. 101 DJ Premier, like this mixtape album thing that he put out, and they had Shades of not this song, but Shades of Brooklyn was on that.
40 knows everything.
Literally.
Changed by Shades of Brooklyn was on that DJ Premier 101 tape, and I loved that and had it because 21 Questions by Shock Claire was on there. So that was a pretty serious event that DJ Premier was going to take a song from Toronto and play it on this like mixtape set. So it's kind of cool. They released it on vinyl. It's like it would be as silly as like somebody's playlist in 2016, but back then they like put it out. It was amazing.
And AZ as well.
AZ is just one of my favorite rappers. Like people always had arguments about who their favorite rappers are, and like, you know, a long time ago when Big was alive and all these things, those conversations were still happening. So for me back then, like AZ was just always at the top of my list. AZ and OC, bizarrely enough with the acronyms, but both of those guys were always my favorite rappers.
Curtis Mayfield.
One of the greatest.
And we have a gift here for you. It is in this tube right here. And this is a gift to help decorate the state-of-the-art studios with Curtis Mayfield and the Impression.
Wow. Is this a show? Sunday, March 17th at 8 p.m. Don't miss it. Admission.
Hello, this is Billie Eilish, and you're watching Nardwuar's Video Vault.
Nardwuar. 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 Nardwuar.
Check, check, check.
Check.
First off, who are
Sure, this is fire. I like this. Who am I?
only the best for Billie Eilish? And who are you?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish, welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And right off the bat, Billie Eilish, I have a gift for you. An original 1968 yellow submarine corgi toy of the Beatles.
Ooh. Dude, my dad would love this. Look at him right there. Ooh, look at his little face.
Actually, who do we have right now?
We have Patrick O'Connell, Billie Eilish's dad, right there.
And beside him?
And beside him, we got Phineas O'Connell, my brother.
And beside him?
Beside him, we got Maggie Baird, my mama.
And right up front, we have Billie
Eilish.
holding the Beatles from 1968.
Swear.
And you love the Beatles, don't you?
I love the Beatles.
Do you have any original Beatles toys?
No, I do not. I'm young. I'm too young for that. I am too young. I mean, the only things I have is like shit that you gave me last time I saw you. You gave me what'd you give me, like pins and stuff?
You remember?
I remember.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for not throwing that out.
I still have them. You gave me a piece of gum. You know, I have that. Chewed it up? No, I did not chew it up.
Billie Eilish, thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Ruby.
Who the fuck is Ruby?
Ruby introduced you to Green Day, took you to Green Day.
Yo, ew. Why do you know that shit? That's so irrelevant. Like, it's so irrelevant.
Well, you were Billie Eilish. We have to know.
Bitch, who told you that? Ruby Hirsch? Yeah, that was my, when I was 9, I had a crush on this boy, and his older sister was Ruby, and that's crazy. Did she? Was it her?
Come over here, Phineas, if you could. Could you please explain for Billie?
Phineas has some pimple cream on his head.
I do.
Pimple cream.
Self-care. Yeah, Ruby's a friend of mine. She's been a friend of mine since I was like born, and she was also a fan of Green Day. Introduced me to Green Day via "Wake Me Up When September Ends." Good song.
And actually, I have a gift for you guys right here. Turn It Around, the soundtrack for a Green Day produced movie about the history of East Bay punk.
Cool.
Wait, really?
Yeah, with some unreleased Green Day, Blats, Up Ivy, and it's on blue vinyl.
Oh, it's
And-
Operation Ivy?
Yes,
Oh, cool.
a blue vinyl double LP
Oh my gosh.
in honor of Ruby.
In honor of Ruby.
Love you, Ruby.
Ruby. What the hell?
Thank you, Ruby. And Phineas, now that you're up here, do you like guitar straps? What do you think about guitar straps?
I love guitar straps. I feel like a lot of the time they're very boring and like run of the mill. And if you can have like an interesting looking guitar strap, even if you have like a Squire guitar, like you look like you know what you're doing. Yeah.
What do you think about Phineas wearing guitar straps?
I love it.
And Phineas, we have a gift for you, a Beatles revolver
Oh!
guitar strap.
This is so cool.
really
Wow.
hard.
Should I put this on like a white guitar for the show?
Cool.
That is so sick.
Revolver.
I love Revolver. That's one of my favorite albums. I love the cover art for this album. It is so cool.
crazy.
Wow, thank you, Nardwuar.
That's a gift for you.
That's amazing. I love this.
Tell me about Eric motherfucking Palmquist.
My God. Eric Palmquist is a producer who produced a band called Bad Sons that I loved in my
His
early
shoes.
teens.
Look at his shoes.
Yeah, his shoes are pretty
Damn.
He's a great guy, though.
And he linked you up kind of with Danny.
He is, yeah. He is managed by our manager, Danny, and the reason that we know Danny is because of Eric Palmquist. So, yeah,
Because of your email.
because of my email,
To
which
Eric
the title of the email is Eric Flipping Palmquist.
Now, what I find really interesting is Phineas graduated at 15,
So did I.
but Phineas did.
But Phineas did too. Yeah, he did. Yep, he did.
Yeah, but you know, my diploma is like written in ketchup. I don't actually know any.
Who won the battle? Like, you graduated at 15, you graduated at 15. Who won the battle?
She has more Instagram followers than me, so she won, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know how many more Instagram followers than me you have? You have 23 million more than me.
Well, thank you very much, Phineas.